Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, hi, my name is Madison. I am a new grad labor and delivery nurse, and I'm going to answer some of your guys' questions that you've had. I posted an Instagram question thing to have you guys ask me questions and stuff that you wanted me to answer and address, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And if you're not already, make sure you follow me on my Instagram and TikTok. I like to be pretty active on those as well. So I just went to Starbucks and I got my favorite drink. It's the strawberry refresher with lemonade, and I don't like the berries, so I just get no berries. So grab yourself a snack or a drink and we are going to get into the questions. So before we get into the questions, I just wanted to pop on real quick and say a huge thank you to our sponsor for today's video, which is Fuzzy. If you guys watch my videos regularly, you know that I have two dogs. I have a Weimaraner, a blue Weimaraner named Bronson Blue, and then I have a German short-haired pointer named Milo Fog. My dogs are amazing, and dogs are seriously like family. So right now, Fuzzy is offering my subscribers a free 7-day trial membership. All you have to do is go to yourfuzzy.com/MaddieNJ to sign up. And again, that's a free 7-day trial and access to exclusive member discounts on pet medications, supplements, food, and more at yourfuzzy.com/MaddieNJ. So Fuzzy is a telehealth service for pet parents that offers 24/7 access to personalized pet care from veterinary professionals. From everyday questions to middle of the night emergencies, Fuzzy has the answers pet parents need through live chats and virtual vet consultations available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Fuzzy can answer your pet questions, big and small, urgent, and every day. Right, so I'm obsessed with the Fuzzy app, and it is the cutest thing ever because you can make your pets like little profiles with like their pictures, and it's just so cute. And then you're able to access stuff for each of your pet on their account, and it's just like the cutest thing. And it's so easy because it's right at your hand and it's all within each pet's little profile. Again, all you guys have to do for your free 7-day trial is just go to yourfuzzy.com/MaddieNJ. And again, thank you so much, Fuzzy, for working with me on this video. Definitely check out Fuzzy if you guys are pet owners. And let's go ahead and get back into the video. So the first question that I received a lot, and that I'm sure most of you are wanting to know, is how is being a nurse going? How's the new grad life? How is your job on the labor and delivery floor? So I started working as a nurse on March 13th, which is crazy that I'm almost off of orientation and on my own. So it is going really good. I feel like each week I feel a lot more confident, obviously, because I'm getting more experience. But at first, I almost, not like a negative mindset, but I was having a pretty rough time. And then it has just gotten so much better, and I have the most amazing preceptor. And I was thinking last night on my way home, having a good preceptor, especially as a new grad, is so like crucial, having a good one, because they can literally make or break your view or your experience on nursing, because you are just a baby nurse going into the nursing profession. And I'm not saying that like you have to have a good one to love nursing, but it's really tough. I have some friends who haven't had really great ones at different hospitals, and they've had a really rough time, and I'm just so grateful for having an amazing preceptor. Now, the transition from like going from a nursing student to the new grad life, the transition has been a little bit easier than I thought, because I feel like my nursing school prepared me so well. And obviously there's so many things that I don't know, and I'm learning every day. And I feel like in life, you are never going to know everything, obviously, and you need to be open to learning new things every single day, every single shift, all the time. So I'm just kind of like a sponge absorbing all of the information and tips and stuff I can use in my profession as a nurse. And I feel like the weirdest thing too, and I've seen so many TikToks on this, is when you realize like you're the nurse and you can't be like, okay, well, 1 second, let me go get your nurse, or let me double check with your nurse, because you are the nurse. And obviously I'm surrounded by such strong, amazing women who've been in the specifically labor and delivery world for a long time, or have kids of their own, or have experience with a lot of these things that they can help me on. And I would say that's something that is a little bit different for me, or makes things a little bit difficult, that I didn't even realize, but it's kind of like obvious, like, oh yeah, I mean, that makes sense, is that it's a little bit harder for me because I don't have kids. I've never gone through that birthing experience. I've never gone through breastfeeding. So I think the thing that's the hardest for me right now is trying to educate on breastfeeding, because a lot of the nurses have experience with that, not only working on the floor for years, but also being moms. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's something that's like kind of stuck out, like, oh yeah, it's kind of, you know, but there's also other nurses on the floor who don't have kids, but they've also been in labor and delivery for a while. Overall, it's been great. I'm going to do a whole video breaking down exactly like what I do depending on if I'm postpartum, labor and delivery, actually, if I'm in triage, if, you know, I'm not in the nursery yet, or like the NICU, but stuff like that. If I'm doing postpartum care, I'm going to do a whole video on that. So my floor has all of it, so the nurses were like cross-trained on all of it. So like halfway through the shift, you could go from postpartum and then to your labor patient, or you could go into C-section. Like, it's not a huge hospital where it's all on different floors. It's all on one floor. It's going good. I love my floor. I love my coworkers. It's going really, really well. I got so many questions on like my living situation, if I'm going to be moving into my own place, stuff like that, which I got so many questions. It's probably one of the top questions, so I'm going to answer that, obviously. So if you don't know, I live at home. I'm 23, by the way. If you don't know, I just turned 23, and so I was really grateful that I was able to live at home and not pay bills or rent while I was in school. That saved me a lot of money and stress. But so I would have said a couple weeks ago that I was gonna probably wait until like this time next year, like springtime, summer, because me and my sister are planning on moving to Palm Beach in Florida. That is something that we really want to do. But we are talking and we're searching and researching apartments actually now, because we are getting a little kind of just like, oh, we have so many things and we don't really have room for all of it, like in our rooms. My sister moved back home, and so we are looking for places that we can live together. So me and my sister are planning on moving out and getting an apartment, hopefully sometime this summer, and I'm so excited to take you guys along everything that has to come with that, because I'm so excited. I've never had a place of my own, because I was here in college, and when I was in a dorm my first semester, I shared it with 4 girls, and it was smaller than my room now with 4 girls in it. So yeah, I'm so excited and a little nervous because I love being home and stuff, but I think it'll be good and really exciting. So yes, I'm planning on moving out soon, and that is going to be the living situation with me and my twin sister Allison, but for now I'm still at home while we are apartment hunting. Would you be a travel nurse in the future? So I would say maybe within, like, I really want to be a nurse, like a floor nurse, at least for 4 or 5 years. I don't know, until I feel truly comfortable where I can be thrown into a situation with a new environment and not freak out. So maybe like once I'm like, you know, feel very confident in myself as a nurse, maybe in the future, but who knows? I don't know what my future is gonna look like. And you know, X amount of time, 5 years, I could be settled down, I could have a place, and maybe traveling wouldn't be great. So I don't know, but I'm definitely interested in travel nursing. So next question is, if I am going back to school, when I'm going back to school, what is my plan now that I'm graduated and I am a nurse? So yes, I am going back to school. So I'm going back to school for my BSN, which is my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and I am starting that probably end of August, early September, and of course I will share all of that with you guys and take you along with me. It'll be interesting doing that while working, but I heard it's not as intense as, you know, the actual nursing school. So I am going to get my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and then I am also hopefully going to go back and get my master's within the next couple years so I can become a nurse practitioner. So that's like my plan right now. Yeah, so that's that. And then kind of bringing this into the next question that I got a lot was, if I wasn't in labor and delivery, what specialty would I go into? Do I see myself like long-term in labor and delivery? Are there other routes as like a nurse I want to kind of navigate through? And the answer is yes, I do want to eventually, you know, try different specialties, but I'm loving labor and delivery and I do see myself there for quite a long time. But once I get my master's and, you know, go through all of my MP schooling, I would love to open my own medical spa and do stuff with like aesthetic nursing, injections, stuff like that. I don't know, it's a long shot, but I'm definitely really interested in that. And I'm also interested like in aesthetic nursing before I open my own practice to get that experience. So that is definitely something I'm interested in and want to do probably for the next couple years for sure. even if I just still work labor and delivery and get like a PRN or part-time position at aesthetic like med spa, I would really be interested in that. I am also interested in forensic nursing. I think that may be something that I would really love to do later on. And those are the ones that are kind of sticking out for me right now. I also love my psych rotation, so maybe one day a psych nurse. I don't know, but yeah, labor and delivery is my jam right now. I love it. I love the moms and the babies and the families, and it's really great so far. But definitely in the future, I can see myself doing different things, because that's what's so awesome about nursing, is that there are so many different routes and avenues that you can do to kind of fit your lifestyle. So maybe I'm not going to want to work bedside one day when I'm settled down and have kids and I'm older, but we'll see. All right, so another question that I got a lot, and I always get on my videos, on my TikToks, on Instagram, DMs, everything, is how I was able to get a job on a labor and delivery unit as a new grad nurse, because we all hear, oh, you have to start out on med surg, which is not true. I promise you it's not true, before you actually go into a specialty. Honestly, I really did get lucky. So a lot of times you'll hear that labor and delivery positions do not open a lot because people stay a while, and the floor that I got on, there was actually a lot of people who either had retired or were out on maternity leave, or who had quit to go travel nursing, or who got their NP. So it was like a perfect time for me to kind of hop in there. And there was a couple other people who also got hired too, so it's kind of nice I'm not the only newbie, but it was literally just the perfect timing, I swear. And so one of my professors who I actually had for my labor and delivery class, I didn't have clinical with her, I was at a different hospital, but she had told a nurse educator, I think, she gave her my name, and she was like, hey, if this girl applies, I'm just, she kind of put in a good word for me, which I'm grateful for. And this was one day toward, I think it was like October, I had my ATI live review at school, and during our break they had a career fair for nurses, a job fair. And so I went and I just put my name down that I wanted to do labor and delivery, my contact information. And the next day the guy had called me back and he's like, hey, we want you to come in for an interview, yada yada yada. I did, and I ended up getting the job, and that's how I started as a nurse extern there, because they really wanted me to get in there as soon as possible. So I started as a nurse extern from December 13th to March 13th, and I started March 13th as a nurse. I would definitely say to apply, even if it says you need experience, definitely just apply, because I feel like they need nurses a lot of places right now, as well as when you're in your labor and delivery clinical, introduce yourself to the manager, give them your name, and say, oh, I'm really interested in working labor and delivery when I graduate, and I graduate in May and then the year, just so they can kind of recognize you and remember you. I think that's a really good thing to do. I had a couple friends who did that when I was in my intensive care unit ICU rotation, and they ended up getting jobs on the floor, and the manager had seen them and how they interacted and worked very hard in the clinical setting when we were there on the floor. So yeah, definitely recommend that. And I did get lucky, and for the time that I graduated, when there was a spot open, so I'm super grateful. And yeah, that's kind of how I got my job. Is what is my go-to Dunkin and Starbucks order. So obviously you guys know it is the strawberry refresher with lemonade and no berries. And then in the fall, I love their hot pumpkin spice latte. It's my favorite, even though it hurts my stomach. I love it. And I also just like the pink drink with the coconut milk. That's really good. And then from Dunkin', I get either their raspberry sweet tea or their vanilla iced coffee with cream and sugar. When I was in high school, the caramel iced coffee was my thing, but I really like the vanilla more now. What is your favorite drink to order when you go out? So I hate drinking. I don't really drink at all. Occasionally I will. Maybe I'll drink 2-3 times a year maybe. But when I did go out and drink a lot when I was at Ohio University and away for school, or even now, if I do go out, because my boyfriend really likes to go out and so do my friends and stuff, I will just get a vodka Sprite. That's what I get. So yeah. Oh, I also don't mind White Claws. I'll drink those too. Did you want to work day shift or night shift? So I honestly kind of knew going into the new grad life that I'd probably be on night shift. So honestly, I'm okay, whatever. I don't have a husband, I don't have kids that I, you know, like I don't have like a schedule I need to base around a million other people, so I'm not too mad that I have to be night shift. I'm gonna pay my dues, whatever. And yeah, so I am switching to nights. I was actually supposed to switch to nights on Sunday, June 5th was supposed to be my first night, but my preceptor wanted me to stay on another week on days. So like, and I have one more week on days, and then I'll be on nights for I don't know how long, so we'll see. I'm gonna come back and touch base with you guys how nights go, so we'll see. Do I always work 7 to 7? What's that like? Do you do other like shifts? So on my labor and delivery floor, we do 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. So you work the 12 hours, so 7 to 7, and then that 30 minutes is when you have your little huddle, which is where the charge nurse from the previous shift comes and they tell you like the rundown of the floor, and then you get report from the nurse who took care of your patient either the night before or the day before. So that's that. I've had days where I've stayed over like an hour, and you know, I have to stay over. Not too bad. And then also something that I have not mentioned, I don't think, and that is going to be a pain in the is on call. So labor and delivery, I don't know what other floors they have this in. I know it's not every floor. I'm guessing they probably have it definitely for like OR nurses as well as like ER nurses, maybe like on call. So basically that means you're on call and literally they can call you and be like, hey, you need to come in. And once they call you, you have 30 minutes to come in. We have to be on call like every month and a half. So on top of your full-time schedule, you have to be on call for 36 hours within that month and a half, I think. So you can pick up on call either 4, 8, or 12 hours. So you can do like 7 to 11, 11 to 3, and 3 to 7 or whatever. So yeah, that's that. That's going to be a pain once I'm off orientation and I'm starting to be on call. Not looking forward to that. But other than that, the shifts are normally 12 hours unless you're like picking up something for someone really quick. So yeah, I got a question on what is my biggest advice for new grad nurses. And like I said, I'm a newbie myself, but just being open-minded and also knowing that you don't know everything. And I feel like we know that, but you don't want to go in being like cocky or like overly confident, because that's not a good look. Be nice to everyone, but also have a backbone and stand up when you know something's wrong or someone's not treating you right, because that is not okay. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself like kindness, give yourself grace, because you are learning. This is like a whole other world in nursing school, and you'll realize that, and you just have to be kind to yourself and also realize that you're trying your best and you are showing up every day, and that's all you can do. So next question is how I deal with pre-shift anxiety. And pre-shift anxiety is definitely something that is real, and you can experience this obviously with any job. And I would say it's definitely gotten so much better the more comfortable I get. It may start again once I switch to nights when I'm working with all new people, but I would say definitely take care of yourself and also like try to be a little bit productive, do stuff that makes you feel better, and then also plan something to look forward to after your shift, whether it be dinner with your family or reading your favorite book, watching your favorite show, and just winding down. Also journaling, coloring has been like my thing lately. I've been like printing pictures off the internet and coloring, getting coloring books. Like that's like really helped me a lot. And I've been watching so much Planet Earth, which is crazy. I've been watching Planet Earth on YouTube like before, like when I'm falling asleep at night. It helps me so much. So that's what I've been doing. And then also I wanted to talk about, I got questions on, is it true that nurses eat their young? And I would say yes in some situations. And at first I thought I was going to deal with that, but honestly every nurse has been absolutely incredible. Once they got to know me, I feel like I needed to earn like their respect almost. And it is true. And you know, obviously wherever you work there's going to be people like that, which is honestly sad and it's disgusting, because everyone starts as a new nurse. Like you're not just born out of the womb a nurse. You have to go through all of that, and sometimes you're going to have to earn their respect and earn their trust and prove yourself. And if they're still going to act like that, that is seriously on them. And sometimes if there is situations where it's just not getting better, you may need to like either address them or talk to your manager about it, because it's not safe. It's not good to be working in a place where you're feeling like unsafe, or you're getting bullied, or feeling like you're not in a safe space to be able to learn and be the best nurse possible. So I am lucky and I'm fortunate. So just, you know, try to be kind to everybody and If I have any nurses who are watching my videos who've been nurses for a while, take care of us little nurse babies. We're scared and nervous, and I think it's always important to remember where you started, because you were there one time too and kind of unsure of yourself as well. So I got a lot of people asking about tips for people starting nursing school in the fall. It seems like a lot of you guys are. So first off, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. It is such an accomplishment to get into nursing school. It's very scary and overwhelming, but it's gonna go by so fast. And I always felt like the days would like drag, but the weeks would go by so fast. And you're like, oh my goodness, how is it already like midterms or finals, or I'm in my next semester? So just take it day by day, get yourself a planner, plan everything out, and that's also gonna help you balance your social life and your school life, like academics or your work life. Plan things to look forward to and set time aside for yourself, or else you are gonna get burnt out and overwhelmed. And it's hard not to feel guilty when you do things like with your family or your friends, or relax. You're like, oh my goodness, I should be studying. But you need to take time for yourself. You need to make sure you're getting rest. And I am telling you that you can do it. You are gonna pass. You're gonna do amazing. If there's some bumps in the roads or like different turns you have to take, that is okay. I ended up failing one of my first semester classes. I retook it and I was able to pass the rest of nursing school. It's hard getting into like a routine of how to study for nursing school, because it's concept based and like you have to use a lot of critical thinking. So it's not memorization. You have to really understand the topics that you're learning, because they're going to ask questions and scenarios. It's not going to just be like a straight up definition. So definitely just getting into an adjustment of how you're going to study is super important, and try to figure that out like earlier on rather than later. I figured it out later, like my second semester, but then I did so much better at the rest of nursing school. And remember, you are on God's timing, not your own. We have all of these things planned out, and there's one of this like quote or this Bible verse. No, it's like this quote, and it's like, you can plan all you want, and like God's up there laughing, because you know he has his own plan, his own story already, you know, written for you and made out for you. And it's hard to remind yourself sometimes that like, I can't be frustrated. This is God's plan. This is what is just this is how it's gonna be right now, and that's okay. So just, you know, pick yourself up if there's a bump in the road and keep going. Persevere, because you are going to get where you need to be at the end of the day, and it is okay. And I just wish you guys all the best of luck when you're starting nursing school. It's an amazing experience. You're going to meet amazing people, amazing patients, and you are going to grow more than you can even imagine in the best ways possible. So I had questions about discussing like work-life balance and how I'm doing with that, and honestly, I'm still working on it. I'm struggling a little bit, because I love sleeping. I can sleep anywhere. I can take a nap any time of the day. I could take 10 naps a day. I could sleep on the ground. I could sleep on the counter. I could sleep in the car. I could sleep on the bed, on the grass, on the cement. I can sleep anywhere, okay? So on my days off, I like to sleep a lot. And then I feel like I get nothing done on my days off because I'm sleeping. So at first I was like pretty good at it, and now I'm kind of been a lazy little person. But I like got up today, got ready, got Starbucks, sat outside. So it's just kind of like, if you have a couple days off, okay, maybe one for rest and then one to be productive. I'm not always productive. I know sometimes it may seem like, oh, she's cleaning, she's productive, she's planning. Half the time I'm in my bed because I love to sleep. But I want to feel like I'm living my life still and not just a nurse, not just working. So it's something I'm trying to figure out, but hopefully it'll be a little easier with summer coming up, and I can figure it out and be outside and it's lighter longer and stuff. So I'm figuring that out. If you have tips, let me know. So those are some of the questions that I got, and I can do a whole other video answering more questions, but these are just some of the ones that I got asked a lot. I hope this gives you a little update of how things are going. But I really love you guys so much. You mean so much to me. I just can't believe like how close we are to 100K. It literally like blows my mind every time I think about it. It kind of makes me want to cry. But anyway, I love you guys so much. You mean the absolute world to me. I want to give you guys all a big hug right now. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions that I didn't answer or anything you want me to elaborate on, let me know. Leave video requests in the comments. And yeah, all my socials, my PO box, everything like that will be in the description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.